Hey, Michelle here from Sensate Soul, as well as Mr. Ollie, hanging underneath a sweet tree here by the park, and this is video 3 out of a 3-part series, series, though it can get kind of serious sometimes, this topic. It can seriously mess some people up. But this is about the whole thing of that we absorb energy from others. So do check out video 1, which is about debunking the whole trend and where this false information, fake news came from. That's video 1. And with the question also of a powerful question to ask yourself around this. Part 2 is about some benefits in a kind of twisted way about what do we think we benefit from, or what do we benefit from by believing this, that we absorb energy from other people. And then this one is, I want to speak about, I want to give you another question to consider, as well as a belief I have around what is actually happening when we say we are absorbing energy. And also, if we're new to each other, my name is Michelle from Sensate Soul, and I work with empaths and HSPs and Ollies, and what I lovingly call us empreneurs, those who are stepping out into their life and work as empowered empaths and creatives and entrepreneurs. Whether you're doing it in your business or simply in your life, it's all about being our healthiest, most empowered selves. Look at all those dogs running around back there. They're being their most empowered, healthy selves. All right, so let's get to the topic. In video 1 and 2, I had posed this question about, what is the benefit that we would get from absorbing other people's energy, and talking about how, a lot of us are dealing with, Mr. Ollie wants lots of love this morning, and he's going to get it. But a lot of us are dealing with a lot of emotional challenges in our lives, and that's just part of being alive. So when you think about this idea of absorbing energy, the question I want to put out to you today is, if this is something that you believe, a mindset that you believe, then why don't you then become a narcissist? Why don't you then become somebody else's psychological makeup? Because if you believe that you're taking on and absorbing other people's emotions and energies, that means that then there's a high likelihood that you're going to then become that person, because we all have our individual, emotional makeup. So here's an example. Think about it in the extreme case of narcissists, because so many empaths and HSPs, and I am there with you, have had experiences with, in relationship, or being raised by, or being really traumatically affected by those who are on the narcissistic scale or spectrum. And I have had 3 significant relationships with narcissists. And did I become a narcissist? Did I absorb that lack of emotions, those lack of self-esteem, that lack of an identity? No. So if we believe that we absorb energy from everybody else, then all of us empaths and HSPs who end up in relationships with narcissists means that we can absorb their narcissism and their negative emotions, their negative affect, their negative self-esteem. So that's something we got to think about this when we say, when people lightly say we absorb energy. Well, let's really look at this. Let's get under the hood and look at this and say, okay, if you believe that to be true, then why haven't you become a raging person? Why haven't you become a narcissist? Why haven't you become a deeply depressed person? It's nice to say and easy to say that when we are, so-called absorbing, or we think we are, energy from people who are happy and well-balanced and high-vibing. That's when it's easy to say, right? But we can't apply it to one side, one way, and not to another. So here is something I'd like to offer, an idea and a way that I work with myself and also believe this to be true and work with clients, that I see is happening instead of absorbing energy. And I call it a little bit of vitamin HH. And yes, it could stand for happy and healthy, but actually what it stands for is a being like a homeopathic homeostasis. So homeopathy is when you give a little bit of something to try to match it, to help it shift. And homeostasis is like what our bodies do, trying to be in a state of regulation. So when I'm saying this homeopathic homeostasis, what I see actually happens in energetically and emotionally is that people, I will get into situations with other people, and what we are actually doing is countering, kind of like a lever. We're countering their energy and emotions by bringing in the opposite, by bringing in something that is going to put it into homeostasis. So if you're around somebody who has a level of depression or a level of being disconnected to their emotions, like often when empaths become, get mixed up with narcissists, we bring an emotionality to their lives. We bring, that homeopathic jolt of, this is what it feels like to have empathy. This is what it feels like to be compassionate. And then they, mimic that. They reflect that back. And we think, oh my gosh, they're, really feeling it. They're becoming more empathic and connected. They're so emotionally available. No, they're feeling the energy of this homeopathic homeostasis that you are offering them energetically and emotionally. So, and then what happens afterwards when we do this over and over and over, this is also called transmutation on the quantum resonance level, quantum energetics. So what happens after a while is when we are doing this like counter lever of emotional energy, we get drained, we get tired, because we're kind of forcing ourselves to be on a certain level, on a certain hertz, that's an HERTZ, that we can't always maintain because things need to be, in flow. So we show up with this homeopathic homeostasis kind of energy, and then we get drained and tired because we can't maintain that because it's not really our job to. So this is what I see happens. I know I've experienced this, and this is what I see happens for myself and also with my clients and the people that I work with. So the challenge with this, of course, is my question to you. Are you drained and tired because when you're around certain people, because you've absorbed their energy, or because you have been feeling their energy, being affected, of course, by it, but then creating in yourself kind of the opposite, giving them some sort of, and yourself too, because it's hard to be around bummer people or angry people all the time, and it's almost like a self-preservation will bring in a countering energy to that, just so that we can be around them, so that we can manage ourselves around them. But then if we hold that frequency for too long, I'm not saying we can't have those feelings, but if we're holding something to counter something, after a certain while, it can get exhausting. So are you tired from absorbing energy? I don't believe so. Or is it from having to bring in a countering energy that then gets tiring after a while or over time? Now, this homeopathic homeostasis is a good thing. This is not like a bad thing. It's good that we can show up and bring in these little kind of like healing boosters or energy boosters or emotional boosters. It's good that we can do that also for ourselves. But the question really remains, can you do that consciously without it draining you? Can you choose to do it in ways that are healthy for you? Because ultimately, isn't that what healing is when we're bringing in and through different energies for ourselves and also for others? Can it be a conscious choice? Can it be a practice? can it be part of your self-care? Also, this is a big part about boundaries as well. So having boundaries means we know when and when not to bring in these different energies, when it just means we have to, we're just with what is, or we put in energy to help shift something or transmute it, and knowing which one we're doing versus unconsciously doing, one that drains us all the time, or then the opposite is not doing anything and pulling back and then feeling like crap about that because it goes against our true sensitive, empathic nature to be connected and to help out with ourselves first and foremost. That's why I call it the me path as an empath, and then also for others. What do you think, Mr. Ollie? Look at that face. Anyway, so that is part 3 of this little mini series on this whole idea about absorbing energy. I hope you've gotten a lot of new thoughts and new ideas and new ways of being with this, and empowerment, of course. And please do leave a comment for me and also for others. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings about this. Come on over to Sensate Soul and join us over there. Get things that I only share in private email. If you liked this, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and take sweet, loving care of yourself. Okay, see you in the next video. Ciao for now.